62. Andhabhuta Jatak. Yan Brahmanu Avdesi, Vinang Akhut Vaithito in Bhuta Hata Harya, Tasuko Jatu Visaseti. Also, once upon a time, Tiloguru Buddha, who was the supreme being of all beings, said this Jatak to the monks who were sitting in the temple. Is Sarvajna true to that monk, and the monks were absorbed in it? Vadara is true Lord. How long will the monks and sattris be saved? He asked whether the wise men would be the ones who protected a wise woman from the womb until the end. On the last day, when a king named Brahmadatta was ruling the city of Varanasi, we great bodhisattvas who were endowed with bodhisattvas conceived in the wombs of that king's first wife, came of age, attained the perfection of all crafts, and sat in the kingdom in the footsteps of our father kings and ruled righteously. Those bodhi beings were born with the priestly Brahman. Sit up straight. Sabar tadi vinkagata, sabbe kattamaya vana. Sabbaktiyo kare papan, lahamatru nivatke. They put gold and gold seeds in the silver raft while singing this song. Those kings who are made like this always win. Purohit Paradane. When that priestly Brahman gradually started his home in Sampat Niman, he thought like this. When there is constant defeat like this, all the wealth of this house of mine will be depleted. I thought that I would find and live in the house of a woman who had not gone through puberty. And he had a thought like this. A woman who has not seen another man will not accept to hide. Protecting one woman from the womb, when she came of age, put her under my spell, make her fat and protect her, and keep her under my spell. It is good if you have taken treasures from the master. Those Brahmins are Rahapa and Marx are now Samita. After that, he saw the pregnancy of a distressed woman, and knowing that she was going to have a daughter, he called her and brought her near and covered the cost of the tank in water. Tubues. After some time, the princess will not be married to the king of Mululla until that time. That woman placed herself in the Vasabha and then said Maharijjuruvan Vahasa, Dukhelumhe. From the very beginning, the daughter said that the king is good. The Brahman priest said, let my wife sing while the king sings and pause the seeds. From then on, the priestly Brahman wins. Kings lose. The Bodhisattvas knew that there were those who were checking that there should be a woman who protected the Pativrata Dharma in his house and thought that I would break the seal of her Pativrata Dharma. Accepting Lord, after how long the king gave him wealth, and if that happened, he sent the servant to finish the work immediately. That Dhuti opened the treasure near the king and took fragrant things like chalk, camphor leaves, etc. and made a market with all the fragrant things not far from the house of that Brahmin priest. The house of the Brahmin priest has 7 gates. Every gate is guarded by women. A man other than a Brahmin priest is incapable of speaking at home. After inspecting the garbage disposal box as well, they took it inside the house. That human being is seen by the priest. No other man sees. At that time, one of the attendants of that woman was going to open the market for fragrant flowers, etc., and was passing by the market of that poor man. At that time, he knew that Dhurta was the woman's attendant who protected the Pativrat Dharma. One day, seeing the attendant, he stood up from the market, fell at her feet, clasped her feet in his hands, and wept, asking, where have you gone, all this time? At that time, the remaining messengers who supported him from one side said that the mother and son were one and the same, from their gestures, movements, etc. Even when those women and many people say this, you also believe and start crying that this is my son. Both of them wept and hugged each other. After that Dhuti, mother, where have you gone now? Said. Paricharika 3 said, Vesemi was attending to the infant woman of the priestly Brahmin, who was supremely endowed with the luxuriant form of a Kinnaranganavaka. Now, mother, where did Dhurtiya go? Mother, what is the use of going to another place? From now on, he will send fragrant flowers to me without asking for many betel leaves, camphor, etc., and various fragrant flowers, etc. Gave when the attendant woman came to the house after opening the fragrant flowers, etc. Did you see many fragrant flowers, etc.? When the attendant said, she said that she had seen many flowers. At that time, the attendant woman said that the priest did not pay much for the fragrant flowers. He said that I have brought these fragrant flowers, etc., from the closeness of my sons. Having said this, even then, you will open the prize given by Bamunanang and bring fragrant flowers, etc., from that messenger. A few days later, the poor man became seriously ill. You, the waitress, went to his market and asked where my sons were without seeing that rascal. The people who were in the house said that your son has a strong body. EBUs asked the female attendant, if he is hit, go and sit down and rub his back. Where is the trouble for you, son? The explanation. He did not rebuke with his mouth, saying things without scolding the son. When asked, Mother, he said that he will not accept to tell you even if he dies. Don't tell me, son, who read? Mother, I have no other affazo. I was moved by the color beauty of that young human being. There is life if it is humane. They said that if they don't get it, they will die right here. Parivarika woman says, son, it's up to me. Don't worry because of that human being, he reassured him, taking many cents etc. Went near the human being and said, Mother, my son heard your virtues from me, and he felt good about you. Tell me what's going on. He said, who among us is strange if we have been able to bring you here? Paricharika Suti heard Manavika's words and from then on she collected a lot of garbage from the corners of the house and carried it in the box carrying flowers. If you women say something, or nothing in this way, you are trashing the dignity of women. Since then, whether the escort woman brings something from inside or from outside, no woman tries to check what she brings. At that time, the woman took the flower-carrying basket inside and brought the human being close. Dhurta lived in Prasada for one day after learning the virtues of Manavika. When the priest deviates from the Brahmin, both are abhorred. When he comes, the rascal will hide. After that, you human beings have been gone for a day or two, and now you are going home. After hearing this, the rascal said that he wants to hit Bamunanang. When Manavika came to Bamuna's house, Dhurtiya said, Lord, I want to dance when you sing on the harp. Bamuna Veena began to sing, Seeker of Good, dance. At that time Manavika said, because I. 3 is at that time Manavika took a thick cloth and covered the eyes of that Bamuna and bandaged his face. Kadilvya is recruited and starts chanting Veena. That human being blinked a little and said, Father, I am once upon your head. Father say I will. Bamuna, who was infatuated with the woman, said that he was an abducted father without knowing anything. Then Manavika hinted to Dhurtiya. Dhuti came slowly from behind Bamuna and rested on his elbows. At that moment, it seemed to run away from the eyes. A headache arose. That Bamuna was oppressed by pain and moved his hand like this. Manavika raised her hand and placed it on Bamuna's hand. Bamuna said that his hand was very hard. Dhurtiya Bamuna has hidden father. When he hid, Manavika untied the garment from Bamuna's face and brought it to the ground, but she buried her head in the place where it was knotted. When she left Bamuna, The concubine again took the virginity and sent her away. Then the servant went near the king and told all those verses. When the king saw the priestly Brahman who had come to serve them, O Bhamana, do you Kalimo? Said. When Rajajuruvan Vahansai said the good, the kings decorated the mission hall and sang the mission hymns in the first order. Bhamana said that Manavika should have left Ma Manavika and sung without knowing that Manavika's tapas had been broken. But the one who says this is lost. At that time, the king asked Dhurta to leave the human being and said because of his teeth, Bhamana, why would he ask to leave the human body? Tha Manavika's asceticism was broken. You thought that you would be able to protect yourself in a place where you were protected from the womb. Women are not allowed to hide even if they walk with their stomachs inside. There is no woman in this world who seeks only one man and protects Pativrat Dharma. The Veena singer covered his face with a cloth and asked his Chaura Purusha to elbow his head, saying that he would like to dance with his Manavika. Why do you say, now sit down and sing the song of my wife, my daughter? Thus Mahabhosatana preached the Dhamma to Bhamana. At that time, Bhamana Bodhi heard the sermons of the animals and went home and told that human being that he had committed such a sin. Said Lord, who said that? I didn't. I will draw my hand. And there is no one over you. Therefore, if you do not believe what I have said, I do not even know the hand of a man apart from you. When Bhamana heard this, he made a large pile of firewood and called the woman and said, if you are willing to believe, jump into this fire. Manavika taught her attendant woman, Mother, your sons went there and read the hand to Alvagan when I was burning. The attendant woman went and said the same thing to Dhurta. Dhurtya out Pashat was in the media when he heard Ebers. Is that Manavika wants to commit adultery with the Bhamana and stand in the middle of the crowd and say, O Bhamana, I do not know that a man except you has even touched my hand, and this fire will not burn me with this act of truth. At that time, Dhurta said, now seeing the affairs of the Brahmin priest, such a woman is a fire and death, and took the human being by the hand. O Tomo, take the hand of the wretch and say to the father priest, Lord, I have broken the truth. Therefore, it is said that I do not dare to burn myself. When Bhamana said, I don't even know that another man has touched my hand today, and now this man has come and touched my hand. Therefore, I said that I will not accept fire. After hearing this, Bhamana said, I have been cheated by my mother. Therefore, the women of this world are composed of the following iniquity. If they want to cheat on their husbands no matter how much sin they have committed and swear all day that I did not do this, they will swear with many cheating effects. Lord Buddha, who was a teacher, continued this sermon and declared the fourfold truth, saying that women are insalvageable creatures. At the end of the Chatusta sermon, the monk sat in the sovereign line. After combining the preliminaries, he finished this Andhabhuta Jataka and said. At that time, he said to himself, if the kings of Banaras were Tilunguru Samyak Sambuduraja,